is Emilie Ocean. I am a fiction writer, ghostwriter and editor, and I am the proud author of this little book, Enchanted, book 1 in the While You Can series. I have also written and published this one here, Protectors. This is the prequel in the Chronicles of Protectors series. And the book that comes right after this is this one, which is my latest release. This is Protectors Inc., book 1 in the Chronicles of Protectors series. There are two timelines happening at the same time in this book. The 2021 timeline is the timeline that contains all of these superhero fantasy elements, while the 1930s timeline is a romance story, and they do complement each other. You do not need to read the 1930s timeline to understand what is going on in the 2021 timeline, but I strongly advise that you do, or you might feel like you're missing out on something. But you can do whatever you want, and if you're not interested in fantasy, you can just read the 1930s timeline, which is just romance. The passage that I will be reading to you today is from chapter 7, which is in the 2021 timeline, which is the superhero fantasy timeline. May and Christopher stare at one another for a moment, and he cannot help but chuckle at her buzzing with curiosity. He thus proceeds to tell her about World War II, and how he, just like Bash before him, joined the US Army in 1943, which was still under the government's umbrella. The world had no idea people with superhuman abilities roamed the earth. We now call them supers, he tells her. In 1944, as a brave bunch of supers came forward to enlist in the war effort, the Richies saw an opportunity, the chance to make the world a safer place. The Richies were dying to make their mark, Christopher comments matter-of-factly. More than they did before the Great Depression? May huffs. With a smirk marring his face, he says, "You know Marco?" Let me see. Arrogant man with the ugliest pair of sunglasses I have ever seen? She snorts. Yes, I certainly do. That's Becca's son. At that, May's eyes expand like light bulbs on the verge of blowing out. Goodness gracious! She drops her food on her porcelain plate. You don't say? Christopher nods. Bash's nephew? Well, that explains the bad attitude. Unable to stop his sudden burst of laughter, he agrees with a vehement bob of the head and says, "In Marco's defense, he was very obedient as a child." "Oh, I believe you," she replies sarcastically. Elio was tough on him. Christopher shrugs, a sad smile taking over. Bash and I, we never approved of Elio, but you know, Becca, she didn't care. How did they meet? She asks. Bex and Elio, I mean. In the army. For crying out loud, is everyone a soldier in the future? She throws her hands up in the air. Or rather, did everyone become a soldier? Or, you know what I'm trying to say. Not everyone, he says with poise. Becca was a spy. A spy? Fitting. I thought so too, he chuckles. Elio Ricci, Marco's father, was obsessed with supers. In the midst of the war raging in Europe, he scavenged the world, offering supers a safe haven in his New York residence. Regardless of their background, the Ricci's mansion soon became the headquarters for those same supers who vowed to protect Earth in exchange for a roof, food, and money. This was the beginning of Protectors Inc. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye!